Prime Minister, isn't there something heartless about switching aid from projects which help impoverished Africans to projects which enrich Britain further through economic ties?
What we're talking about is ensuring that we can continue to use our aid budget to help to bring people out of poverty, to support the most vulnerable people around the world, but also using our aid budget to ensure that as we move people out of poverty, that economies are able to be sustainable for the future. That provides a long-term future for people. So it's not just about the here and now, it's actually about that long-term future. It's a strategic change in the way that we use our development aid budget. I think it's important, and I think it's in the long-term interests of the people we're helping.
On Brexit, the Chancellor says a no-deal Brexit would blow an £80 billion hole in our economy. Do you think no deal would be that bad?
Well, the figures that have been produced are figures that were first produced in January when they were a work in progress.
So they're out of date?
What we're doing, they were a work in progress in January.
But are they still correct, Prime Minister?
What we are doing is working for a good deal. That's what we've put forward in our Chequers proposal, our white paper. We're negotiating that with the European Commission and talking to European Union leaders about it. At the same time, it's absolutely right that we put into place preparations for no deal. The director of the World Trade Organization said that no deal wouldn't be a walk in the park, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. What we're doing as a government is putting the preparations in place to make sure that we can make a success when we leave the European Union.
But your backbenchers are furious with the Chancellor. They think he is far too pessimistic. Do you think he can be too negative?
What we're doing as a government is putting in place the arrangements that ensure that whatever the outcome, we will make a success of leaving the European Union.
But Prime Minister, do you think that no deal would be catastrophic? Do you think it would be damaging for the UK? Do you think it would be as damaging as your Chancellor thinks?
We are working for a good deal, but we don't know what the outcome of the negotiations will be, so it is absolutely right that we prepare for the possibility of no deal. As we do that, as we look ahead to our future relationship with the European Union, we will put in place what is necessary to ensure that the United Kingdom makes a success of leaving the European Union. There are huge opportunities for the UK outside the European Union. I'm here in South Africa today. I'm visiting Nigeria and Kenya as well. Opportunities for the trade relationship with those countries and others in Africa, bringing jobs here in Africa, but also jobs to the UK as well.
Most economists agree with the Chancellor. They think no deal would be damaging to the British economy. If jobs are lost, can you live with that?
What we're working for is to get a good deal with the European Union.
If you don't get a deal, Prime Minister, can you live with people losing their jobs?
What we are working for
But Prime Minister,
is
can you live with people losing their jobs? No deal is looking increasingly likely, Prime Minister. Could you please just let me know, are you willing to live with people losing their jobs if we crash out of the EU without a deal?
What we are doing is sitting down and negotiating and talking to the European Union about the future relationship that we can have with the EU, a future relationship that protects jobs and livelihoods, that delivers on the vote that people gave for us to leave the European Union, and does so that in a way that protects the United Kingdom and ensures there's no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland. What we're also doing is putting preparations in place for the possibility of no deal, because we don't know the outcome of the negotiations yet. But what we will do as a government is ensure that whatever the outcome, we make a success of leaving the European Union. And my presence here in Africa, talking here in South Africa and in the other countries I'll be visiting, about our future trading relationships, about the investment that can come from Britain into Africa, about the jobs that can be created, not just here in Africa, but jobs created in the UK as well as a result of that relationship, is about us making a success as a global Britain of the future.
Have you noticed how much Boris Johnson wants your job?
I was very pleased that Boris was my Foreign Secretary for the period that he was Foreign Secretary.
But do you think that he wants your job?
I was pleased that Boris was Foreign Secretary for the period that he was Foreign Secretary.
Would you fight him in a leadership election? Would you stay and fight him in a leadership election?
I'm in this business for the long term because I want to deliver for the British people. That's delivering on the Brexit vote, doing that in a way that protects jobs and livelihoods, maintains the United Kingdom, means no hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, but also deliver for the British people on the other concerns that they have. That's why we've been putting money into housing, why we're changing the planning framework, so that we see more homes built for young people. It's why we're ensuring we get new technical education, so young people have the skills they need for the jobs of the future. It's why our modern industrial strategy is about creating jobs and high-skilled jobs for people for the future. It's why we've made a huge commitment to the National Health Service, delivering for the British people.
And just very briefly, lastly, if you were a judge on Strictly Come Dancing How would you score your dancing this morning?
I suspect my dancing this morning might not quite make it onto Strictly.